I promise to you, this was the moment when I knew, like, like I ain't ultra spiritual. I believe in God.
For sure.
I can't quote a
Got you.
verse or nothing.
For sure.
But I took the Amtrak every day. Like I'm telling you, this every day. I'm buying monthly pass. Nobody never sat by me. So that was one of the perks of kind of being black at the time, Like nobody sat by me ever. So if I get there and sit down, nobody finna come sit at the other chairs. And I'm like, bet. So, Glenn, we could put the little flap down, read, study on the way. So it wasn't bad. One day I'm coming back from Chicago and so now it's like this month's in. So this is now probably second semester before the COVID. And I got my book bag, in the other chair because now I'm comfortable. I know ain't nobody sitting by me. Some dude, like, I'm looking down at my book, some dude tell me, like, is somebody sitting right here? And I'm thinking, like, damn, you don't know the program? Like, don't nobody sit by me on the Amtrak? Look up, it's a black dude. So I'm like, okay, I move the bag down between my leg. And I'm still kind of, like, irritated, like, and I'm just reading my book, highlighting stuff, because I'm on my way to the crib. And then he, like, kind of leaned over, and he was like, is that property? I'm like, because, I'm like, what you know about this? He like, It's like I'm a lawyer. So the first person that ever sat by me on the Amtrak, promise to God, Christopher Walker, was an attorney, bro. Black male attorney. To ever sit by me in the Amtrak out of months.
Nobody sat by you?
Nobody ever. I'm not exaggerating. Not one time did somebody sit by me.
So welcome back to another episode of the What's Your Motive podcast. Today I got family in the building. I got family in the building. My man's Darryl Watts Jr., graduate from Washington High School in 2010, in the heart of the city. If anybody knows all about Washington High School.
Best high school in the city.
There you go. Best high school in the city. Like he said, the Purgoters. Purple and yellow, correct?
Purple and gold.
Purple and gold. There you go. Esquire as well. Please welcome my family to the podcast, to the What's Your Motive podcast. My boy Darryl Watts Jr. What's going on, man? How you doing?
What's going on, cuz?
Man, good to see you. We ain't seen each other since probably October. So it's we long overdue. Every time we connect, we always have some kind of long conversation because I think we talk for most of the little gathering, didn't we?
Yeah, we intellectual.
That's for sure. First of all, congratulations on all your success and things like that, especially being a young African-American man straight from Milwaukee and things like that, for you to accomplish these things and go about it. And the fact that I know some of the background and things you went through to make sure you accomplish your goals. Congratulations, man.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I appreciate it, but if anybody know me, they know that it's just the beginning.
It's just the beginning. You always been, I can say this, you always been confident and sure of yourself for sure.
Most definitely.
And you never wavered from, what you believed in. You always hear something out, and you was very, in terms of perspective, you was well-rounded in your perspective and always seeing that, even though I think we only had like a few years, apart in age, but you was always pretty wise beyond your years. So as we get into this, though, tell us a little bit about your background, where you grew up, your upbringing, family, makeup, and things like that. Just a little bit.
So I grew up on, 48th and Locust. Went to a lot of neighborhood schools. That's why I went to Washington.
Yeah.
Majority of my childhood was spent around like 17th and Meineke, my mom's house, my cousins. Both my parents, because I grew up in a married household, so I grew up with both my parents. My pops had 10 brothers and sisters. My mom's had 10 brothers and sisters.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I grew up in a big family. I had a lot of cousins. So, that's why, I could have a more well-rounded approach because I got so many perspectives. Life about experience. So,
right.
watch my granddad. My granddad on my mom's side married, so I seen marriage like from the beginning. So I know what it's like to
Right.
Got to play multiple roles, take care of the family.
And I'm sure that's crazy because every time I have a guest on here, I always, ask them about their family. And again, you grew up in a family that were married, and then with a lot of individuals. And how important is that to see? How important was that for you to see that type of example?
Well, in our community, that's kind of like that's kind of frowned upon sometimes. So at the end of the day, I had two sisters, so I was a middle child. So you could imagine this how I developed my negotiating and arguing skills to become an attorney. So
right.
You go by your people crib. All my cousins, they people one married. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like you kind of like ridiculed for having both parents in the same household. So but to me, as you get older, you go to appreciate it because you always got two different perspectives. Moms and pops, they two different people. So you could talk to moms about something, pops about something else.
Right.
So I that's how I strive to be. So
right.
So I appreciate it.
No, for sure. And so you said you was the middle child. Yeah. How did you and your sisters get along?
I mean, you have to ask them. I don't have problems with people. People may have problems with me. So.
That's how you see it.
My sisters, they my people. I love my sisters, but we always bumped heads.
Right. Right.
So.
So you being the only boy, but I know you had a lot of cousins. You was super close to your cousins, though, right? Yeah. How was that growing up with a lot of cousins? Because like I grew up with my cousin as well, and then we grew a bond, like became like brothers,
Well, because you like family.
For
but,
sure.
my grandma, my pop's mom stayed downstairs from us.
Right.
So all my cousins was over there every day. So it wasn't like, I didn't just see my cousins on the holidays. I seen them every day. And then, we had several houses on 48. So, Quest and them stayed
right
a couple
there.
houses down. Drew them stayed a couple houses. So, it was like I see my cousins every day. And then even if moms and pops worked, so either way we getting dropped off to my mom's crib, and then my cousins over there every day.
Right.
So it was just like, it was always just like around a bunch of people.
Yeah, 48, man, I missed those the days, boy. I tell you that, especially growing up and things like that. So, so moving on though, in terms of you growing up past that and things like that, what inspired you to even become a lawyer?
Well, it's like two things. For one, my pops told me when I was a shorty. And when I say shorty, I mean like elementary.
Okay.
Like I'm gonna be a judge. I never, that's just like.
He said this.
He said this, but I never was like, I never entertained it. But then as I got into high school, when I went to Washington, like people don't know this, but Washington had like a law part of their school. So we had a courtroom in our school, like a real courtroom.
Pause. Washington High School has a courtroom in the school?
It had a courtroom in the school. We had this teacher named Miss Michaels, and they had like a mock trial. Like they put a mock trial together.
I never knew that.
No, yeah, for sure. So it was like, we did this. Like I was always smart. Like anybody tell you that, like since tried to skip me first grade, all that. Like,
got you.
Yeah, but like towards this time, like, I'm kind of like the funny dude, like play a lot, But when I did that, like she had like people come in from like Baird and different like firms and stuff in the city and be like the little judges of the mock trial. And like they was like, hey, you actually kind of good. Like, and like that was the first time, people don't tell you good in the trenches. So,
yeah, for sure.
Because you always, it's always a character thing. It ain't really about your mental, it's about your character. So, but that was the first time somebody was like, oh, man, you actually kind of good at this. And I'm like, for real? Like, I'm just getting in the acting mode. Like, I'm really just playing around. But we on the mock trial, and they thought it was dope. So I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then, like, after that, still at Washington, like, my two best friends, one went to prison when I was, like, 16, 17. And then the other one got kicked out. But when my guy went to prison, it was kind of tough because I knew, like, his role was so minor, and they sent him up, and I'm like, what if I could have, you know what I mean? it's always a coulda, shoulda, woulda. Like, what if I'd have did that? So
Right.
it was kind of like after that, then I went to, it was like, that's what I want to do. Went down to TSU, Tennessee State.
Okay.
Got in a little law program, did a mock trial down there. So, it just was like, this my niche, you feel
Right,
me?
right,
Like,
right,
you
right.
know what I'm saying? Like, and it's fun to me. It ain't really tough. So it's just like, you get to act, get fresh, do what you do,
So real quick though, so before you even thought about, and we could just rewind a little bit, before you even thought about like becoming a lawyer and stuff like that, let's rewind it. In high school, what was like your interest? Were you into sports? Were you into being an entrepreneur? Like, what was you into? Or were you just being goofy and enjoying yourself?
I was into sports.
Uh-huh.
And I was into like money and females.
Got you.
Yeah. So I was.
I mean, it's kind of typical.
Yeah, typical.
But
Typical little teenage stuff.
No, for sure. I think we all went through that at that time, around that time. You know what I'm saying? Trying to figure out yourself, become a young man, But that mock trial in high school, never knew they had a law school. Shout out to Washington for that.
It was like a law program
Law
because
program.
they split it up in 3 different buildings. So they
Yeah.
had like Leaps was the first floor. It was school because I think it's one school now again. But then it was like ELOB on the second, and IT like information technology on the top. So when they split it up, and I was in the Leaps, which was like law education and public service part. So we had like a little courtroom, but that was the only time I ever seen it too, though. You know what I'm saying? But it was still, it was what it was.
Well, you educating the people because, I mean, unless they went to Washington, right? I mean, the only people that went to Washington would really like know that. I didn't know that.
That's crazy because people be trying to shit on Washington.
Man.
It's the best high school in the city.
Best high school in the city.
Washington produced the best people, hands down.
Hands down.
Yeah. You got Spreewell.
Shout out Spree.
You got Bud. See, people don't know this because we got pictures of the people in our school too. You got Herb Cole. You got Bud Seeley.
The people that came from there.
Yeah, the Willy Wonka, Gene Wilder. You got me. You know what I'm saying?
There
I
you
came
go.
from Washington.
Right.
Yeah.
Product of it. And I mean, I gotta be 100 with you. You right, because Washington does get frowned upon in the city in terms of, but like you said, there's some great people that came from that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go down to TSU, you join a law program. How is TSU?
Exhilarating. TSU was it. TSU was probably the best little year and a half of my little life.
Experience?
What? It was crazy. Became a man down there.
Became a man down there.
Yeah.
In terms of navigating the freedom and then the focus of going to school?
Yeah, because it's like moms them not right there. It's like, so when it's financial aid, no, you got to go talk. You got to meet these people. And there's people that I can't say their names, but helped us along the way, me and my guy,
Right.
like helped us along the way to keep us,
Locked in.
you give me this GPA, I'll do this. So it wasn't just like we just gonna do no fact, it's quid pro quo.
Right.
Like you give me this, I'll do this. So, but you gotta get them relationships. It ain't moms them just coming up, hey, do this for my baby, or
Right.
XYZ. It's like, no, you on your own. You gotta manage them funds. You ain't just eating out moms them pantry. You feel me? Like you gotta manage that. You gotta manage them care packages.
And so you said you had to figure out and build those relationships with people.
Yeah.
And that was just strictly off of you just knowing like, hey, you had to make it work. Or you had to make something shake, right?
Yeah, it is what it is. It ain't gonna always be how you want it, how you want it to go. You gotta go.
Did you stay in a dorm or you had your own like place?
Dorm.
On the dorm?
Dorm.
I never stayed on the dorm. How was it?
TSU was like coming from Milwaukee and going down south, like, bro.
Totally different.
Totally different. The love, like fraternity, sorority.
That stuff was crazy down there.
It was way different. And they love Milwaukee. Like, they loved us.
The people from Tennessee?
Yeah, it was like 3 of us that went down there.
Uh-huh.
Me, my guy Jay, Pay, Ocho, Los. We came from Milwaukee.
And went down there.
Yeah.
And y'all got showed a lot of love.
Come on, man.
Man, I mean, I hear a lot of stuff about TSU and stuff. Like, don't they still like have homecomings and all that type of stuff?
Like,
But
I ain't cocky, bro. I'm not
right,
cocky. That's why I don't like people on social media. You don't really see me. I don't really take pictures.
right,
You know, I don't be flashy.
right,
The work don't speak for it. But
for
like
sure.
down there, bro, we was them guys, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
telling you, like we was really them guys. It was crazy.
Dang, okay. Well, I mean, that's different. I mean, because a lot of people that go to college, I think it's all fun and games, but I know that, like you said, you still had to make sure that you talk to the right
No,
people,
yeah.
to make sure your stuff was paid for, and you had to go to class still. What was your law experience like down there? Your law school experience like down there?
Well, it wasn't really law school.
Well, law
It was like because I
program.
did a little criminal justice, trying to get to the law side
Right.
of it, and it was different
Mhm.
because like it's HBCU,
Yes.
so it's like it ain't just me. Coming from Milwaukee, it's like it's just you, but you go down there and you're like, bro, it's a lot of it's a lot of us, doing this, and it was kind of crazy. And like we got honorable mention, and it was like it was kind of crazy. Like that's
Right.
slick, but like they could go to nationals. They could like get people who win could get like their law school paid for. It was crazy. So it really like put a little battery in my back. Like
What was that like to be down there at TSU? Because you already know, okay, so like, obviously, if we live in the city, we're going to see predominantly African-American people, right? Yeah. But then we know when we go different places here, you're going to see different cultures, right? For you to go down there and it's full of just like African-American people just like you striving, right? What did that feel like? What was that like compared to your upbringing here in Milwaukee?
it was crazy. It was really like eye opening because you really met like people. We act like we got it. Like I know it's people that got it now. I know it's people that got money for sure.
Right.
Like I ain't know no rich people. You go down there, they mama and lawyer, daddy, stuff that I'm doing now, they been doing that 10, 15 years ago.
Right.
Couple living in mini mansions, living in mansions. I ain't seeing that in Milwaukee, bro.
Right.
Back then, no, not in 2010, 2011.
Right.
Like, I know people getting to it now.
Right, for sure.
But like back then, it was like, dang, like, y'all really like this really happening? So it was just like, oh yeah, I could really, because you can say what you want, but we visual learners, like,
You got to see it. You got to show
you got to see it, Like, I ain't,
No, I hear you.
So it'd be,
Yeah,
seeing that was like crazy, like, and then they just like us. Act just like us. Talk just like us. Different accent, all that, but
No,
like
for
the
sure. Same mentality, kind of.
eating the same foods, all that same culture. So it was just like, oh, I'm like that, like you could do it. I get competitive.
Right.
Yeah, like,
So that was kind of like, I ain't gonna say like a motivating factor, but it was like, oh, okay, let's get it.
It didn't make stuff so far fetched.
Right.
Cause I tell people I'm gonna be a lawyer. What? You know what I'm saying? You for real? Might laugh at me soon. I walk off. Laugh at me, dude. Crazy.
And that's crazy, ain't it?
It is what it is. I know it's different. I can't accept it.
So we accept the fact that it's different, right? But we also know that not a lot is expected from us, right?
I'll disagree with that.
You disagree with that? Explain that. Why you say that?
I feel like it's more expected of us.
More expected of us. I'm saying, like, so if you tell somebody like, yeah, I want to be a lawyer, you're like, all right. Because think about it, when we was younger, a lot of times we would say, oh yeah, they want to put the doctor, the lawyer, the stuff in front of us as opposed to being an athlete, right? We want to show a different thing, which is important. But a lot of times when the kids say, oh, I want to be a lawyer, and be like, oh, okay, that's great. But they don't really feel like they truly believe it,
No, for sure. I don't like that.
Yeah. And it's like, you kind of like, oppose the narrative. Like, no, this is legit what I'm trying to do, and I'm going to do it, and I actually accomplished it. So I get what you're saying, especially in terms of, like, you saying, like, you think it's more expected of it. Like, we got to jump through more hoops. Do you feel like that?
Absolutely.
So even as you becoming a black lawyer, do you feel like it was some different hoops for you to jump through? Because I don't know that side. I know my side from the educational people. I definitely feel it.
Yeah. No, but most definitely, like, hands down. Like,
what was that experience like?
What part you want? What part? You tell me what part you want, and I'll tell you. Because you went into undergrad and all that, like that stuff. So you know, that's so far removed from me now, but it's a big part of me, you know.
The law school experience as
So
an
for law-
African American male.
So for law school, I went to, it was called John Marshall
Yep.
at first. It got bought out by University of Illinois Chicago.
Gotcha.
So now it's the University of Illinois Chicago School of Law.
Gotcha.
But when I went there, it was John Marshall. So me, I'm still residing in Milwaukee. You know, I had just had, so I had my son, Damier.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I had my daughter. So just to rewind, I had my daughter at TSU, but, you know, here in Milwaukee. So I was
Right.
18, 19 years old.
Gotcha.
Had to come back to Milwaukee, take care of my shorty.
For sure.
Start working full time, going to UW,
For sure.
blah, blah, blah. So I did full time at UW, full time at the factory.
Gotcha.
Grinding. Get to law school. Before the law school, I had my son Damier. So he about to be like 1, but now I'm having my other son too.
Gotcha.
So now he's maybe 2-3 weeks old before I even start my first law school day. So I got 2 little boys in Pampers, and I'm going to school in Chicago. So I'm taking the train. I'm taking the Amtrak out to Chicago. But I'm not selfish like that. So I know I raised my kids. So I'm not going to just live in Chicago. Newborn. So I'm going to take the train in the morning, get on the train coming back, same day, you know, do my little duty, do my little second shift, wake up, do the next day. So that's every day. You know, that's the rotation.
Right.
When I'm starting. First time ever taking a train. You know, I'm doing everything brand new. Everything brand new. So I didn't miss the train before. I'm thinking the train gonna come stop. Hey, everybody here. I'm sitting in my car watching the train pull up. So when the train pull up, I try to get out of my car. Train driving off before I can even get to it. You know, I'm like, damn, this how the train go. so I'm learning as I'm going.
Right,
you know?
right.
And then I get the schedule. So now I'm doing like my law school class. I may be getting out at like 4:45. It's a block schedule, so it's like 3 to 4:45. And that's every day. It's just a different course.
Gotcha.
I got to communicate with the professor like, you know, my train leave at 5 from down here at Union. You know, so I gotta my school probably like I say 10 blocks from Union Station.
Gotcha.
So I gotta communicate with them like, hey, I'm gonna be walking out of class maybe like 10 minutes early. It's no disrespect,
Right.
You know, it's no disrespect to the class at all. But I gotta take a train and get back home because if I don't catch that 5, I gotta catch like a 7:30. So then I'm getting back to the crib by 9 o'clock. I gotta get back up at 5 to catch this 6 o'clock. You know, to get here in time for my morning class. So it's like, and I still got something to do with the crib.
Right, you got a whole responsibility.
Yeah, so it's like, so that's that.
Right.
And you know, we could agree to disagree, but then COVID came and like saved the day, you know, at like my second semester. So now things kind of went remote.
You was online.
But just to say law school, it's like 3 black people in my class, maybe big auditorium, 100 and some people. You know
Only 3.
3. And I'm the only dude. I'm the only male. Black, you know, it's like 2 black females. And then it's probably like, of course, it's like you got your blend of like different ethnic groups.
Right.
But no, it's like, and then like I had this dean. I don't want to say his name. He might not want to be attached to it, but
right.
He take all the black guys out. So I meet all the other black guys, even in the other cohorts. And he take us out for lunch, talk to us or whatever.
Right.
You know? And it was like maybe 9 of us. And the cohorts is like 100 plus people in each one. So maybe out of 400 students, 400 to 500 students is like non-black males. So.
How did that feel, bro? To be, like you said, in your own cohort, it's 100 and some people, and you the only black male.
Yeah.
You the only black male.
Did they probably one more? Maybe
okay, maybe one more. Did it feel like it was like? I'm just asking. Did it feel like it was added pressure? Did you feel like you was like kind of like alone on the island, or was it just like it ain't nothing? I'm just gonna keep pushing, or was it a mixture? And I only asked that because
honestly,
go ahead.
Honestly, if I'm gonna be real with you,
right?
It was like those like. Maybe they was right. Like maybe I'm in over my head moments.
No,
like,
I feel
you know what I'm saying? Like maybe I'm tripping. Like maybe I did like trip out a little bit. Maybe I'm dreaming a little too, like, no. So,
and I'm not laughing at you. I'm just like,
real,
I feel that.
I gotta be real. I ain't gonna sit here and be just ultra.
Right.
I love to poke my chest out, but no, like it was one of those like damn, maybe I am. And I can say this dude name because I've been looking for him, and hopefully he can see this.
Okay.
But I promise to you, this was the moment when I knew, like, like I ain't ultra spiritual. I believe in God.
For sure.
I can't quote a
Got you.
verse or nothing.
For sure.
But I took the Amtrak every day. Like I'm telling you, this every day. I'm buying monthly pass. Nobody never sat by me. So that was one of the perks of kind of being black at the time, Like nobody sat by me ever. So if I get there and sit down, nobody finna come sit at the other chairs. And I'm like, bad. So, Glenn, we could put the little flap down, read, study on the way. So it wasn't bad. One day I'm coming back from Chicago and so now it's like this months in. So this is now probably second semester before the COVID. And I got my book bag, in the other chair because now I'm comfortable. I know ain't nobody sitting by me. Some dude, like, I'm looking down at my book, some dude tell me, like, is somebody sitting right here? And I'm thinking, like, damn, you don't know the program? Like, don't nobody sit by me on the Amtrak? Look up, it's a black dude. So I'm like, okay, I moved the bag down between my leg. And I'm still kind of, like, irritated, like, and I'm just reading my book. I'm highlighting stuff, because I'm on my way to the crib. And then he, like, kind of leaned over, and he was like, is that property? And I'm like, because, I'm like, what you know about this? He like, It's like, I'm a lawyer. So the first person that ever sat by me on the Amtrak, promise to God, Christopher Walker, was an attorney, bro. Black male attorney. To ever sit by me in the Amtrak. Out of months.
Nobody sat by you?
Nobody ever. I'm not exaggerating. Not one time did somebody sit by me. If I sat by somebody, I sat by them. Like, it was nowhere else to fit, and I had to get that outside seat. But if I ever sat down first, I had to roll to myself. So I was good. Sometimes I could take a nap, kick my foot up on the other side, lean against the window. Nice little hour, 15.
And Christopher Walker came and sat by you.
Sat by me, bro. So I'm irritated by the man. And I'm doing my work, and he see what book I'm looking at, and it's time to find out he an attorney. Give me his card, all that. I'm like, oh, that's crazy. So then as time will be going on, sometimes we'll see each other, and he'll make sure, we chop it up.
Right.
So, like, I'm telling you, when I'm seeing, like, this all makes sense to where you asking me, like, how do it make you feel?
Right.
Because, like, now I could talk, like, I know I probably still got some type of accent or whatever, but for the better part, I can articulate a little better now.
For sure.
So back then, I had a different cadence to my voice. So it's like I used to be having, imposter syndrome, like.
Real.
Yeah, so it's like, and he'd be telling me all the time, reassuring me, like, man, don't worry about that. You just got to worry about what's up here. You're like, you just one of those guys that probably ain't going to be able to play the game like everybody else. He's like, but you just got to know your worth. And he'd be constantly just reassuring me.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, all right. He's like, you don't got to change how you talk. None of that. So it's like, so that was kind of. No, yeah, that was. And I'm looking for him. So if he comment on this, because I need to thank him. Yeah, because this was my first year. This before COVID. So it's like, that was like, yeah.
Man, big shout out to Christopher Walker, man, because
big shout out to Christopher Walker, bro.
I mean, like you said, nobody sat by you. This man came and sat by you.
Nobody.
But not even that, y'all still forward some kind of relationship, right?
Oh yeah.
And for him to even say, like, you ain't gotta change up the way you talk. It's always what's up there.
Yeah, he was proper. Like, he was one of, he talked good. Like, you could kind of hear where I come from in my voice.
No,
like,
for sure.
I wish I could turn it off and on.
But why should you have to, right? I mean, because think about it. I mean, honestly, I'm gonna be 100. I'm gonna be all the way real. I know I do when I get in certain rooms, and it bothers me though, because I know if I could just talk regular, it still would come off the same. You know what I mean? But we get into these rooms and we want to change it up to.
Why make it harder on yourself? So I'm getting there. That's why I'm rebranding. I'm coming from a different place point than everybody else. I went to HBCUs. I had kids in school, so I didn't like kick it with other groups of people. I always worked in school and
Got you.
moved around. I was always with different types of people, so I didn't never learn that cadence. I ain't never have to talk like that. I just showed up to school, kind of like some people just show up to the game. Like I ain't go to practice, you just showed up and balled. Like that's just how it was for me. So I never had to like everybody I was around. It was never put up on. I worked when I'm talking like that at a factory for it.
So did you find yourself trying to talk different at one point, or not trying, but like you found yourself going down that path, and he kind of like helped that, or was that just like you just came up with that revelation?
No, I just knew it because even if I try, like me, I practice. So sometimes I practice like something with a recording and listen to myself. That's how I'm getting ready. I'm prepping.
Right.
So if I used to know, like I don't sound. You could tell like because I'm the type of person when it was class, I raised my hand. I don't care about. I don't get embarrassed by ain't no dumb question to me.
That's confidence.
If I don't understand, you finna explain it to me right here because I can't stay for office hours. I gotta run to the bus stop, catch this train, and out of here. So I need it right now. So people be looking around like, no, you break it down some more for me. I don't care what nobody else think. They could be looking like, damn, that don't make sense to him yet. Like, no, you gonna, okay, now I get it.
Yeah.
Y'all might worry about the grades and how you can finesse it. I need to know. I need to really know what I'm doing.
What?
So I ain't never try to talk like, but I knew based off the reactions
that,
like I know what come on, man. I know my stereotypes.
Right.
I ain't gonna play crazy.
So you acknowledge that, but you was just like, hey, listen, I'm still confident enough to know, hey, I got something else to do. You got, like you said, you had your circumstances was different. So like you said, I got to ask that question before I leave this place because I got to get back home and do something else,
Yeah, so I ain't really.
Where that confidence come from, though?
I don't really know. I don't think it's.
I've always seen it in you. Whenever we talked, even as a young man, that's why I'm asking you, like, where did that confidence come from? You always seem confident. You always seem sure of yourself. You always seem matter of fact.
I really just think it's genetics or something, bro. I really don't know. I really can't explain it. It's just me like, I need to know. I wish I could, like, quantify it for you.
Uh-huh.
But I can't pinpoint to no breaking point where this was this. I just always was the person that just, like, I ain't believing nothing on face value. Like, it's something behind there. I'm digging deeper. Because I done been lied to a lot. I done went through everything everybody else done went through. I done been played by friends that I grew up with, played by family. So just because you got a title or just because you this, don't mean I got to take what you say as.
At face value.
Yeah. I'm going to play some games. I'm going to try something else. I'm going to throw a little bone out there, see if you grab it. Because it's mind over matter.
Right.
So it's like I got to play mental. Because I can convince myself of anything.
Right.
And I feel like anybody else can. It just might take me longer. But I can do it.
Right.
If I want to, I could train my brain to believe whatever I want it to believe. So I gotta throw those games out there and see what's going on. But it ain't never really been just like I guess it's a more of an arrogance, I would say, than a confidence. Because I just don't care.
But it might be, I think it's more so like, even when you say arrogance, because a lot of people might frown upon it, but I think it's still healthy. It's a healthy type of arrogance and confidence that you have. Not just this, like you said, you ain't poking your chest out. You still walking with modesty and humility for sure. But yeah, like I see that. And that's crazy because I didn't know what your experience was when you went to law school. And how long were you there? 2 years?
No, it's 3 years.
3 years.
So on top of that, like I didn't really have scholarships.
Uh-huh.
So like my law school experience was probably different than a lot of other people because I always, besides my first year, I always started 2 weeks late. There was always an issue with financial aid or something. Trying to, law school, that costs. So, it always was an issue to where, like, I can't get in no classes for, like, 2 weeks every semester after my first one. So by the time I always started 2 weeks.
Behind the able already.
Yeah, already with 2 weeks worth of work, and the next week due. So by then I'm probably getting the books and, getting all that, So it always was like that. But it was, it'd be certain things that happen because, law school is competitive, so everybody can't make it.
Right.
So, you can hear the whispers when you come back after that first semester and somebody say, hey, Darryl, like, good to see you back. And you know why he's saying it. Because he thought you...
He thought you wasn't going to come
yeah,
back.
he thinking, I'm going to get purged out with the, I ain't going to meet the requirements to make that next hurdle. So that's what fueled me. It's kind of like, oh, yeah.
You got the intrinsic motivation just to keep going now.
Yeah, let's go. Come on. I like that. I like to be, let's spar about it. So that's how it was always 2 weeks behind. So I didn't really have like a pleasant law school experience. You know what I'm saying? Then I went COVID. So now stuff online. So now I can't raise my hand. Now, you know how hard it is on Zoom to try to professor going.
Right.
By the time you could see your hand raised or something, it's 3 topics down the line. Is you finna ask the question now? Like, Professor, I know you said this 20 minutes ago, but...
So what did you have to do then? You had to, like, email them?
No, that's when I had to dig deeper on my own. That made me be like, you gotta do your own research. If you don't get it, you get that, you get your reprimand, you get your C, you get your B. You might get lower than that. Now you meet with him, now you found out what's wrong, where you went wrong. Now it just won't happen again. But I ain't gonna not swing. That's how I am. Like, I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna get that belt a little bit, and then it won't happen again. So it wasn't always just, I just succeeded.
Right.
No.
That's what I was saying. Like, I wanted to know what your...
It was tough for that because that's what I was saying. I didn't get that back and forth banter where it's, come on, give it,
Right, that's what I'm saying. So, like, you go through... First of all, you already in a cohort where you underrepresented it, right? Underrepresented kind of in the terms of just you being one of few in your cohort that look like you. You going back and forth on a train, raising the family, working, trying to deal with the financial aid, coming back, not being able to start the semester until 2 weeks after. Having to catch up on that COVID hits, then what?
One thing you gotta understand with law school is a different language. So you reading Latin, you reading old English too. So this is stuff that I've never seen before. So now COVID come say today because now I could, open me a business. I could start bringing in a little more income because, if you going on a train, where the money,
right?
You got to save up before you go. So I
had
to stack it up before I could go.
Right.
So now you can kind of like be a little bit more active.
Right.
Bring a little bit more income to the crib. So that was that great trade-off versus, I may be slipping in my understanding for the first go around because I'm going to get it the second go around.
Right.
Versus now the crib can, because as you know, bills don't stop.
Don't stop for nobody.
So, but it was, I couldn't go to campus,
To walk around and all that.
To use the library, nothing. Because Wisconsin was a hot spot. And I'm going to school in Illinois. So that's that. So now afterwards, now I got to take a bar exam. Because if I would have went to Marquette or Madison, I wouldn't have had no bar exam. So me thinking like...
Oh, it's built in their program?
No, Wisconsin is a diploma privileged state.
Talk about it. I didn't know that.
So Wisconsin, I believe it was one other state.
Uh-huh.
But I think it was like New Hampshire or something. But it's not no more.
Uh-huh.
But Wisconsin's the only state that got diploma privilege for attorneys. So if you go to Marquette or Madison Law School, you don't have to take a bar exam. You waived in. You got character fitness, background check, stuff like that. But no, you don't got to take the bar exam.
Never knew that. So you had to take the bar exam.
Because I went to school in Illinois. Even though I'm working in Wisconsin.
Right.
I had to take the bar exam because I went to school in Illinois.
And how was the bar exam? How was your preparation? What was that like? Because I always hear it's hard. I don't know nothing about it, but I always hear it's hard.
So everything come full circle because now I still go back to how I'm feeling. So now I graduate law school, but I'm trying to work in Wisconsin. I already know what my competition is like. My competition got diploma privilege. I still got to wait till July to take my bar exam. Once they do this, little background check, that's my competition. So I already secured, I secured this like public defender opportunity. So I go right to work. I graduate Friday, I go right to work Monday. Because I got to beat my competition because they finna come in June.
Because they got a quick leg up.
What they need me for? Like how important am I? Who am I?
Right.
Let's just be real.
Right.
Who am I compared to? They need a warm body. We don't even know if you're gonna pass it.
And
versus somebody that don't even have to even attempt.
And Marquette and Madison is held to a high esteem already.
Come on now. 1 + 1 is 2.
Yeah.
So I'm not naive.
Right.
So I'm starting right then and there, and I'm working. Getting a little experience here and there. And then my birthday is June 30th. The bar exam is always like the third week of July.
Uh-huh.
So now I'm talking to some classmates from law school, and I'm asking how, people that's been like organizations. Because I couldn't do that type of stuff because my schedule was too tight. So they all on these things. They had like prominent positions in the law school. So, I'm asking them how they summer been going. They just telling me they've been studying. And I'm like, y'all been studying? Like, they like, yeah. I'm like, y'all not working? They're like, no. Like, they're like, what? Are you crazy? Like, no, I'm not working at all. I'm studying for the bar. I'm like, oh, shit. I haven't even been studying for the bar. Like, I've been doing it, like, very, very, like, I'm not going to front. Because I'm working, so I don't want to be caught studying and it look like I'm stealing company time.
Yeah.
So I got to, so it's just that. And at that time, I tell, like, I got to start studying. Because now the test is 3 weeks away. I go back, tell them, like, I got to take some time off to study because these people, man, these people that have higher grades than me and all this type of stuff. So I probably started studying, like, around, like, 4th, 5th of July after the holiday.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably was doing, like because you got to pay for a course. And I did barbering. So on the course, it's saying I'm doing like 18 hours a day, bro. 18, 19 hours worth of work. Because I'm cramming. I'm in the basement. I'm not leaving. Because I'm like, bro, how? Like, I'm beating myself up. Like, I'm not one of those people that make excuses.
Right.
So I'm like, you tripping. Like, how you ain't been doing all this stuff? So now I'm studying. So I did that for weeks straight. Like, not like family, everybody, leave me alone.
Locked in.
If you mad at me, you'll be mad. I couldn't cater.
This is personal.
It's personal. So now it get to like the Friday before, right? The
Friday before that bar exam.
Yeah, Friday before. So I check on my computer because I don't know what hotel I'm at. And it said like details later when I first registered.
You got to go to a hotel?
Yeah, because that's where the test was at.
Okay.
So now, I'm trying to get that information. I look and see my email say like, hey, you're not eligible to sit for this bar exam. You got to wait till February because it's 2 bar exams, July and February. So I'm like, what? I got to wait until February? No. I'm already at this gig, this can't be happening to me. So now calling people, it's a little later at night, nobody answer. I leave voicemails. And it's about like some COVID stuff because they had like this 22. So
okay.
COVID
still lingering. Yeah.
So it's like some standard paperwork that, you've been to this country, you did this, the little standards that the standard little 8 questions they ask you when you walk in somewhere.
Gotcha.
Have you traveled outside the U.S.?
Yeah.
Anybody in your household?
It been exposed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so that stuff that was going around. So I print that paper off. I fill it out. I go to Freighter, get a COVID test. I'm like, I'm going out there Monday. Like somebody got to tell me no to my face. Like
right.
I'm not hearing this no. So now I'm driving out there, and the lady like called me back like, hey, I got a voicemail from you. And I'm like, yeah. Well, I was trying to, I'm trying to tell her, and she like, why weren't you checking your email? Like she chastising me. And I'm like, man, I'm not lying to you. Like I stopped going to work. I ain't checking no emails. I'm not even talking to my family. I'm been studying 14, 16-hour days straight. Still chastising me. I'm on the road. So I'm studying like pleading my case.
Right.
Because at the same time, even though I think it's petty, I got some fault at that because I probably should have checked my email.
Gotcha.
When y'all told me I was okay to go, okay to sit, it's nothing else.
Right.
You know, it's just a COVID form.
Right.
Still chastising me. So now I'm like, man, I don't know what you want me to say at this point. Like, I done bent over and danced as much as possible. I don't know what you want me to say. And she say, like, well, luckily the directors graciously allowed you to sit for the exam. So you just didn't chastise me for, like, so you must have thought that I was going to get belligerent.
Yeah, and go crazy.
So then you could tell me I can't sit. So you just done made me do this dance for this amount of time. So now I'm like, okay, cool. I'm already on my way. Get there. The paper that I was supposed to fill out, they doing it there. So you want me to turn this paperwork in 2 weeks early, and they still have you. Because I brought the paper, like, we don't need that. You got to complete this one. So now it's something, because it's a standard paperwork.
Right.
So, okay, cool. Told me to come back where I'm going to sit. Next day, I'm going to take the bar. The bar is it's 3 days. Well, first day is registration. So next test 2 days. So the next day I come in, I walk into the room or whatever, and everybody got like a little laminated label.
Mm-hmm.
They, with their number to where
Gotcha.
they sit in a little Ziploc bag with the contents for your test. I don't got my number nowhere on no table, so I'm like, go back to the proctors, like, hey, I don't, have a table. Like, oh, I'm sorry. So they write it with a marker, put me at a table, boom. I'm like, okay, cool. So now, I got my laptop or whatever. They give me like the contents, like the eraser, pencil, that type of stuff, Kleenex, Sharpie. They give me that. So now I'm sitting there, and now this lady is going over the test. Going over some information because, they got the people telling you what you're about to do for the exam.
Right.
So now they like, yeah, and grab this manila folder. So I'm looking around, everybody grabbing theirs, and I'm like, hey, I'm raising my hand. I'm like, hey, I don't got a manila folder. I don't have one. Like, oh, I'm sorry. They rushing, they putting it together. The manila folder is the bar exam. So I'm sitting there without a bar exam the whole time.
Come on, man.
So I gotta, this the biggest moment. This for all the marbles. Law school was,
So you going through all this prior to even taking it?
This right, I promise I'll die leaving here. That's how honest I am. This is my first day at the bar exam. So now I take it. Boom. Okay. Pep talking. I talk to myself.
Right, for sure.
So we good. We
Right.
good, bro. We good. Relax. Take that's the first day. So the second day, it's 8 hours too. So it ain't no you in that joint for 6 to 8 hours. It ain't no game. So now the next day, it's a multiple choice portion. So like I tell people, because I always encourage people to be lawyers, but I know most part of it is these standardized tests that has nothing to do with when you become an attorney.
For sure.
But you got to still master, you only can fight your opponent that's in front of you, So, so I got a method to my madness when I do things. So
right.
Multiple choice, I put question marks when I'm not sure.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna mark something because I ain't finna just be empty.
Yeah.
But that's gonna train my brain because I'm just going through. So now when I look up, I got 15 extra minutes. Go back to the question marks,
Got you.
Because I'm not second guessing myself on nothing else.
You're right.
It is, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. So now I go back.
Right.
So, time, pencils down. I filled everything out, but I got question marks on the Scantron. So I catch one of the proctors like, hey, can you erase these question marks so I don't trip up? She's like, oh, no problem, I'll do that. And so they go get everybody tests, and she must tell the main proctor, the same lady, from the beginning, come immediately get to light me up. This is the only time she chastising me. I'm like, ma'am, you can do it. I don't have to touch the pencil. Like, you can do it yourself. I'm not trying to.
Right.
I do it for you. I do it for anybody else. If this happened on the second part, because you get a little break in between, I'm not allowing it. Like, dog, this is the bar exam. And this how you
treat me.
On my brothers, rest in peace. The first day of that exam, people came late. This same woman is walking, rubbing their back. It's okay, relax. I know you. I promise to God on my children's life. This same individual. So at that moment when it happened the second day, and it's for that last break, for the last stretch. I know you a Jordan fan. You know, I know you watch basketball.
For sure.
That's when I got in that mode, like that vision. Like, I know how they feel. Like, I know people think it's cliche, but I know how they feel when you get in that zone now. I know how I feel because when I'm leaving on that break, I'm like, oh, I see what this is now. Now I'm pumping myself up now. Like, oh, this bigger than me. Let me locked in from that point on. I don't even need you. I'm resting for my last 5-10 minutes. I don't need nobody to erase nothing. But I'm going to remember you. So now, poof, results come back. Glitter. Glitter. Hello? Now you got to talk to me. Because now I need help with this. What I got to do to, get my license now?
Right.
Oh, man. That's what be the big. But so, like, my experience, that's why I carry myself like this.
Right.
Because I know it's not what you do, it's how you do it. It's how you like certain people. It's how you do it.
Your responses.
Tim Duncan, you know what I mean? Like, look how he did it.
Right.
Some people like him.
Mr. Fundamental.
But is he?
Right.
It's about how you do it.
Right.
Where we from.
For sure.
So, I'm hoping to motivate. I could tuck all this.
Right.
I don't wear this.
Right.
People who gonna see this probably gonna see my first time seeing me with, But I know it's some little kid that ain't as athletic,
Mm-hmm.
Right in the middle. Like, this easy, bro. Don't let my experience is for the next, so it'd be easy for the next person.
Right.
Because ain't nobody gonna believe it like that unless you tell it.
Absolutely. You got to say it. You got to say it. And I'm glad. I thank you for walking through that whole experience. Like, I couldn't imagine having to deal with those things and then taking a big exam like that, the bar exam. They already put so much emphasis on how tough it is, how rigorous it is, how people be failing. But those obstacles that you just mentioned is insane. Insane. But
small thing to it, John.
There you go. It's all about how you responded. My boy said he was in the Jordan zone.
I'm telling you, bro. I promise you. Like, my whole... Like, I know what they mean. I know what they You don't get in that. I haven't gotten in it since or before then.
Was it like out of body?
Yes, it was like tunnel. It was like tunnel, like...
Was there any anger in there?
Or hell yeah. Hell, come on, man. But that's what they want me. You want me to be this bravado, boisterous, disorderly.
Mm-hmm. They want it to be outwardly as opposed to you channeled it to, let me kill this real quick.
I know what y'all measure. And I know what I measure. That's the worst thing about us, because we grow up 18 years in these communities. And then longer, and you get into this field, and you realize that you've been taught wrong the whole time.
The whole time. And it's hard to unlearn a lot of stuff. Right?
So you gotta just fight the battle in front of you.
Oh my God.
Keep it simple.
Man.
So I don't complain about it.
Right.
Very few people know that story.
Right.
Very few.
Right.
Because what that get me?
You don't use it as a crutch or anything. Like, look, oh, woe is me, and look what I had to go through, and you ain't looking for no sympathy.
No, what that's
no
gonna
pity.
give me?
Right.
What that's gonna give me? A pat on the back. Sorry you had to go through
that. Right. Yeah, you ain't getting nothing for that. You right. Man. Did you have any mentors?
Of course, gotta have a mentor, not legal wise. I got one now, but
Mm-hmm.
not legal wise. So all this was off faith. Like,
Gotcha.
just trying something. But no, not legal. I didn't know no lawyers at all.
And that's crazy. Like, I was thinking that before you even came over here. Like, you might be the only black lawyer I know.
That would
No,
be
no,
the
no.
laugh. It's
No,
just crazy.
seriously. Like, I try to like audit myself and be like, okay, do I know any lawyers? Like, legit. Like, you the only African American lawyer I know. And I'm sorry if I'm forgetting somebody that I may come into contact with, but
They out there.
you the only one I know. Like, I know black therapists, but I don't know an African American lawyer.
So I gotta make it look cool. Me and my brothers talk about that. I gotta make this look cool, even if I don't want to. Cause this my calling.
You gotta represent, be a representative.
That don't mean I gotta be sagging.
Right.
I don't gotta be saying the N-word 30 times everywhere.
Right.
But what do we look at when we growing up?
Mm-hmm.
What was your
Your
vices
image.
as a kid?
You already know. I was a Wayne fan, a Jordan fan. I loved Wayne raps. I loved baggy clothes. I loved, sagging was in. Hat to the back, do-rag.
Fashion.
Shoes, right, fashion. So that's what we was talking about before you even hopped on the pod. We talking about you dapper, right?
Always. I mean, this ain't me. Like I told
Right,
you
right.
before, I put button up tie. I wouldn't wear these shoes to court.
Right,
No, I'm not gonna do that. You
Right.
know? I'm gonna still respect the craft,
for sure,
respect the game.
for sure.
But when you trying to motivate, you gotta reach people where they at.
Right,
You know, it's a reason why people do what they do because they done seen it already or they identify with it. If I'm completely do a 360, then you gonna have people that's gonna be like, when I'm talking, when I'm listening, you know, that was him. I can't be him.
right,
I want people to be like, oh, if he did it, you compete with me. You don't have to put me up on a pedestal. You can
Right.
be like, if he did it, I'm better than him. Come on. I welcome you.
right.
I need all y'all.
So do you feel like with the knowledge and stuff that you have and everything you went through and stuff like that, just in terms of you just becoming a lawyer and you just being there, like you said, you wearing it to be able to meet people where they are, do you feel like it's your responsibility to use your legal knowledge and stuff like that to help the community? Especially since you are legit from Milwaukee, the heart of the city, and you know what goes on in our city. You're a criminal defense lawyer. You know what goes on. You done seen it all. And you still in, your experiential, journey right now. But do you feel like you have a responsibility to the community, especially for the young kids more so? You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And I don't mean no disrespect to no older man, but
Right.
I don't do this for no adult. Like,
Respect.
if you motivated, I appreciate it. But everything I do is for the kids. Because, some people, they made their bed or they got their decisions. And if they won't help, anybody that know, if they ask me about law school, anybody see this, I give them game. I'm giving you game. I'm not keeping anything.
Got another one.
But it's I feel like it's my responsibility. People may disagree with it.
Mm-hmm.
But I was around those guys, So I know what's lacking.
Mm.
I know why people do what they do.
You understand it.
Yeah, versus a different attorney. I could go civil and make a lot of money,
Right.
but like you say, impact.
Impact.
What it is, what's your motive? Ain't that what it's called?
What's your motive? You already know that.
You said that, so and that's why I gotta look cool, because I knew when I was a kid I wanted to do what looked cool. I want to do what the girls like.
For sure.
We want to. You see the nice car, you see the nice clothes, you want that, and then it trickle down into what they doing to get that.
An image, right?
Yeah, and then now you doing what they doing because you want to look like them.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to look like me, I can show you like.
And
This legit. I don't look over my shoulder. I go everywhere, bro. I don't have to worry about the IRS when I spend some money.
Right.
I don't have to do that. Everything is. That's the life you really want to live. You don't really want to have to live that reckless.
Right.
But I know some of you have to for a little while. But I need you to know that you need to get out of that.
Yeah.
As quick as possible. If you there, you need to
Move around.
You need to pivot.
Yeah, and like you said, that imagery is everything. I think they say what he who controls images controls minds. Mm-hmm. So
what do you say? Scarface the movie did more than Scarface the rapper.
Yeah.
So that ain't displaying for all this that's happening.
Yeah.
Cause I can hear the music, but until you put the video on,
I can't see it.
That's when they want to be.
Absolutely.
You gotta stop forgetting where you come from, because we was there before. So everybody just worried about everybody looking and what they doing. Look at what they seeing, and you reverse that. That's my approach. Everybody got different approaches, but that's my approach. Because somebody gonna see me. I still go in court and they think I'm the defendant. To this day.
Never.
I just took my son, because I take my kids. Sometimes I didn't let all my kids see me at work.
Right.
Take my son with me. Go to court. Going for a client. Go check in with the bailiff. Now, attorney, you had an attorney on here. He could vouch for this. At the court calendar, it has an attorney who's appearing as well.
Right.
You have one. I tell him who I'm there for. He looks down at the sheet. Now, if he would have just glanced a little more to the right, he would have seen my name. He looked down at the sheet, looked up at me, because I'm talking to my son. That's how you do it.
Right.
I know he young, but
right.
I'm trying to be, I'm trying to.
Right, you're trying to show him.
And he say, "Well, are you here to watch?"
No.
I'm like,
make sure we get this all here. Go ahead. We got to get this. Like, what?
He said, "Are you here to watch?" And I'm like, "No, I'm his attorney." Now, I'm this guy. I got this. I got button up. I got tie. I got briefcase. I came just looking like this. That's recent. I promise you, that's of this year. That's 2025. This happens since public defender days. I can go into the jail, past the sheriff's, into the jail to do a little colloquy with a client,
Mm-hmm.
take you out there to negotiate bond. You gonna look at me and say, "You a lawyer?" Like, no, they just let me back past everybody here to come talk to you. So, and now, after we meet and we talk,
right,
it's just that respect. But that's reality.
But that's
reality.
Yeah, it's a reality, but that's like that's insane though.
You think it's insane?
Okay, so I'm gonna say this. That is reality.
It's reality.
Okay, I'm gonna say this is an unfortunate reality, but it is what it is, right? I can't even say like that ain't right.
I've had judges call me the defendant.
You had a judge call you a defendant.
Not the word defendant.
Right.
But in the judge's colloquy, when they're going over like a plea and sentencing, and there's certain things they have to say and go through with the client. Instead of substituting Mr. X, it was Mr. Me.
In the papers? In the paper?
No, the paperwork but when she's talking to the client, because this is judge, they've been doing it forever, so they don't need to necessarily. Of course, they can glance at the paperwork,
right?
But they know,
right,
the prerequisites to satisfy a correct sentence. So they have to, or ascertain a plea. So they have to continue to probe and ask additional questions, so that you willingly, knowingly, you did this under your own accord. And when it's supposed to be like, so if it's like Mr. Watt, you agree that da-da-da. And Mr. Watt, you agree da-da-da. It was Mr. Me instead of the actual defendant. And it's like, hey, Your Honor, no, like, oh, I'm sorry. So it's certain things where it's just I don't.
You don't trip over it. Do you trip about it?
You get 10 minutes. You get 10 minutes to excuse my language. Well, I'm not gonna swear on your platform, but you get 10 minutes to complain. That's my rule. That's all you get. After 10 minutes, you gotta get up and you gotta get back to it. You gotta either it's a solution or it's in the past. It's still you still can remember it, but it's like
it is.
I understand why it's like that. I know who I am. So when you see me, you get some type of apprehension, some type of pause. Who is this?
It look different.
Yeah. And it might be an attempt to break me. I don't know. I don't want to presume that you got some malicious evil intent. Maybe you just ignorant.
Right.
You know. Maybe you didn't get enough sleep last night. I don't know. So
Right. Did you your first time actually, taking a case or whatnot and representing somebody, were you nervous?
no, never.
Why is that? Is that because of preparation? Is that because of all the experience you had in terms of debating and stuff like that?
I don't really got a lot of experience debating. It's just like, how can I put this? It's like, bro, I really get to get up, get dressed, like get fly,
Uh-huh.
drive to, office, court, whatever, and talk. You know how like stress free that is? Like this is like the dream, bro. You get to walk in these courtrooms. You get to surprise people every day. Every day I get to surprise somebody. Like they might be like, oh, who is this? And somebody else might take it like, dang, why they looking at me like that? To me, I'm like, yeah, what's up?
Right.
Let's go. Let's duke it out.
I belong here.
Yeah, I want good banter. I want good sparring.
Right.
Cause I'm gonna push you. Come on, let's push me. Let's fight a little bit.
Right.
Let's see what we both went to law school for.
Got you.
So I never was like, I would be more nervous about the venue or the arena in which I'm in, the crowd versus this the dream, bro. I never get nervous.
And is the banter and the going back and forth, is that, I don't know. I'm a big fan of Denzel Washington's The Great Debaters, right? And they call it verbal boxing.
Okay.
How much does like verbal boxing or debating go into like being a lawyer?
If I'm gonna be honest with you, rarely.
Really?
Most
Okay.
lawyers don't, litigate. I wanted to litigate.
Gotcha.
So it's, most people don't have to go in the courtroom. They say, it's sayings like the best lawyers don't have to see a courtroom.
I have heard that.
Yeah. So, but me, I value that part of it. That's where I can get into character. I can exit who I really am, and I can get into, I can act, I can get into a different mode. I can relax, and I could, this is what all the, all that work. Because, you can prep, you can practice, you can do all that. But now, we in the gauntlet now. Is you gonna sink or you gonna swim? What's your fight or flight like?
Super instinctive.
Yeah, because I could learn from a good attorney getting kicked, like getting whooped. I like it. I've lost a trial and shook a hand. And I don't want to say lost.
Right.
I had a trial not going in favor of my client.
Got you.
Because I don't like when lawyers say lose or win. I no shade or no disrespect. I don't know the saying, but to any other attorney.
Right.
But I don't like when attorneys say they won these cases or lost these cases. Because, for one, success is in the eye of the beholder. And for two, we going home every day. I'm going home. So if a client, if he win that trial, if he lose, he go to prison or jail. So how can I say that I won or I didn't really have much at stake? What, a name? I guarantee the fight. You gonna know if you my client that we grinding. You gonna know I'm working. You gonna know he up on it.
Right.
That's how we gonna do it. But me saying like, no, I won or lost, like I just don't like that saying from attorneys because we go home, bro.
Got you. Do you get a lot of like friends or family members asking you for like legal advice or to represent them at all?
Yeah, but not in, I kind of like refer people a lot.
Got you.
Because, you can't really get legal advice because then you kind of put yourself in a bad ethical situation.
Correct.
But most definitely, I have family.
But you referred.
Yeah, refer.
What?
Because as your attorney, I need to know everything. Is you comfortable with that?
Mm-hmm.
Because we got to play different. You got to think about it. You can have somebody facing a felony. Certain mitigating information, you get it down to a misdemeanor. You might get it down to, nothing.
Right.
Deferred prosecution.
Right.
Or, misdemeanor to ordinance, Might get it dismissed. I didn't did all that. But do I count them? So when people ask me, like, anybody that know me that didn't work with me, if they see it, I don't come in bragging about wins. Because I don't never take it as a win to me. So it could be like, oh, you just got that dismissed at prelim. You just got that dismissed at.
Mhm.
And I know some lawyers gonna probably be like, you ain't getting that dismissed at prelim. I really get busy. But no, for real. But or dismissed at intake and stuff like that, because prelim's hard to beat. That's why.
Gotcha.
You know, but like, I done did all that. So those that see me and been on the side of me,
Mm-hmm.
they know. So I don't really got to get on the internet. But that's the stuff I got to learn now, is that side of the business. Because I'm always thinking like word of mouth.
It's going to do it.
Yeah, because if you talk to anybody I ever represented or anybody that bumped into me, they going to know like,
They're going to sing your praises. They're going to rave about you for sure.
Oh, yeah, because I'm not.
But you ain't doing it for show. You doing it for impact.
Yeah, and it's fun. It's fun, bro. This is fun. Any lawyer that don't think this fun, they need to chill out.
They need to chill out.
There's people somewhere, people kill their mama for this, bro. To switch shoes. You know that. It's some people right now that are backdoor their best friend, brother, if we could trade places right now.
For sure. For sure. No, that's for sure.
Come on, like, one fact, one gem I'm going to give you. And this is what really make me every day don't take advantage of this.
Mm-hmm.
My granddad introduced me to his brother. I ain't going to say his name. But he wanted to be a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
But back when college and like going to law school, it was like the draft time for like Vietnam or something.
Oh, okay.
Like that.
Gotcha.
He switched his major or switched his path to become a teacher because if he went to law school, he'd be eligible for the draft.
What?
So he never chased his dream of being a lawyer because he had to choose between the draft and or go get something that's stable. And I know it's going the teacher, the whatever it is with the finance or
right.
financial aid or whatever your major is, it protected you from being eligible for the draft. So how dare I complain, bro? When somebody couldn't even
do it.
The choice they had to make. I'm complaining about somebody yelling at me over a bar exam. When I'm yelling, okay, you yelled at me. Okay, I get over it.
That puts a lot in perspective.
Yeah, you can't. It's
I
people
feel you on
before
that.
us, bro, that couldn't even try it.
So why should I even complain?
Come on, man.
And they had to take a whole different trajectory in their life.
They wish they could have just got yelled at. And I'm gonna sit here and act like it's the worst thing ever. It ain't gonna be the first time I done got yelled at or the last time. So, like.
Believe that.
So, no, that.
The people that you represent, they range from young individuals to older individuals.
Yeah.
And I know you said like a lot of you ask your clients to make sure they disclose all the information to you.
It's helpful.
Have you ever had an instance where like somebody didn't tell you something and you like, oh, hold on, man, like.
Oh yeah, that happened.
Because I was
a public defender, bro. So,
okay, there you go.
They called us public pretenders.
Got you.
You get disrespected the most. Like, oh, is you a real lawyer? Like, I took a bar exam. Like, this private person, I think I'm more qualified.
Right.
But no, like, yeah, because you got to think they not trusting you.
Yeah.
Or they thinking that,
Because the misconception is that you're going to railroad him.
Exactly.
Or you're not going to represent them all the way to the center. You don't really care. It's about the money.
I hate that because I met some great public defenders, bro. Public defender got me where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
Literally.
Okay, because I know we've been talking for a minute, but why do you think that stigma on lawyers is the fact that, oh, they just doing it for the money, they going to railroad it, they working with the system, especially from our community aspect, right?
Well, excuse me. I do hear like it was maybe a point in time in history when that was kind of like actually true.
Right.
So I don't think it's too far-fetched. A lot of people don't understand the dynamic of a public defender as well. Because, for example, if me and you go commit a crime and we co-defendants,
right?
I get the lawyer first. We both qualify for public defender.
Mm-hmm.
I get the lawyer first. I get an actual public defender. One person, one firm is, you now cannot be represented by a public defender because it's a conflict of interest. So now they have to outsource your case out to private attorney for a county approved rate. So now you may be thinking that you have a public defender. I got a public defender. You don't. You have a private attorney who's taking it. So they may be billing at $300-400 an hour, but the city only giving you $100 an hour. So now you taking this case. Me as a public defender. So you thinking because you didn't pay for him, I got a public defender. You don't. You really have a private attorney. But you didn't pay for him, so you just assume that it's a public defender.
Right.
So now, me as the public defender, I get paid every 2 weeks. My check is going to get cut. You as the private attorney, your check don't get cut to the end of the case. So just be logical. We both fighting the case. I've been working on it 9 months. You've been working on it 9 months. I've got paid 18 times. You ain't got paid at all.
You gotta wait until the end. Till it's all over with. So Does that de-incentivize?
I'm not sure how they come up with, how they make the system up. I don't like it.
For sure.
Because it could breed an attorney that's like,
right.
Is you pleading or you going to trial?
Right.
I need to know now. So I need to work because, I'm working now. Who's working? Your job tell you we'll pay you in 9 months. What you going to say?
Can't you do it?
So sometimes people may get in those situations and they may feel like, oh, this public defender railroad or he forced me into this or he forced me that. And that's not to badmouth any private.
No, for sure.
And then also with public defenders, they overworked. So I done had over 200 cases at once. So it's, you also, they run your tongue out your mouth. You're going to be, you're going to work. So sometimes, that other private attorney he has more time to research. He has more, and that's not an excuse.
Right.
But it's reality.
But it's the reality of it.
He can have more FaceTime with you because he's in court once, now I'm in court once or twice a week. Maybe 3 days, but I could calendar it a certain way. As a public defender, I'm in court every day. Every single day. Every single day.
That's a grind.
Yeah, you can't celebrate there. Because you may go in there and win a trial, or you may go in there and win a motion, and now you getting somebody finna go get sentenced for 3 years, 5 years, in another 45 minutes.
That's crazy.
So it's different. It's different, bro.
How do you...
so I respect all public defenders.
Got you. So before I get to my last question, I want to ask this. How do you balance being a criminal defense lawyer and being a father and just being that family man?
That's easy.
I know you say you're working out. Yeah. Good for the health.
Got to. My guys be on me.
Uh-huh.
So I don't post it, but I hit the gym Friday to Sunday.
Uh-huh.
But no, as far as the kids, my daughter, it's my everything.
Right.
She grew up with me.
Mm-hmm.
I had her
for sure.
19 years old, so it's more so leading by example.
Uh-huh.
And also I've set that bar now. So oftentimes we don't respect what somebody say because they didn't do it. So if you're talking to somebody who went through every single thing that you could imagine, I could relate to anybody. So with the kids, it's just, I'm going to show y'all, I'm going to talk to y'all a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
My kids, I can see my boys and, Daddy, you look like a square. You look like a nerd, because they got, but it's cool.
Right.
But, it won't be far-fetched no matter what they do.
Got you.
Like, I can do that.
Right.
Nah, I'm going to do this. It's not to where you could reach for anything and just be.
I think it's cool that you actually take them to work with you. What I'm saying? See you in it. That means a lot for kids.
Because I know,
especially at a young
bro,
age, the exposure, right?
You got to see it. You got to see it. You got to see it. It's a lot of people that helped me on the way here, bro.
For sure.
So I don't, it's a lot of luck with this.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of luck, bro. A lot of luck. But if it's anybody on the friends, they kids, whatever, they want information. I didn't felt them emotions.
Got you.
Thought it through. I didn't talk to the best of them. One thing we just gotta stop being hard on ourselves, like you said at the beginning.
Right.
When you say you're gonna be a lawyer, they looking at it like it's unattainable. So
Absolutely.
you steer somebody like that quick. Everybody ain't got the mentality I got to where it's gonna be. You tell me I can't do something. I'm just inherently what do they call it? Because I call my son is a contrarian.
You got you.
I'm just a contrarian,
Right.
bro. So if you tell me I can't
Can't
do
do
something,
something.
I just want to show you wrong. So
Yeah.
that was I fuel off of. So I
Right.
can use that on my own in any scenario.
Right. And you self-motivated.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
self-motivated
yeah.
too. So for you to already be self-motivated, somebody say you can't do that, man, come on, man. I'm me.
Let me do this now.
I'm me. Let me just show you real quick.
Yeah.
Like, I want to do it for my sake of myself, but let me just show you real quick. Like this ain't.
And I'm gonna put my energy.
Yeah.
Into it. Like, I'm gonna make it. I could. And I just think when people do that, they recognize who they is, their weaknesses. You can do that because I know how to rile myself up.
No, I feel you, and that's a skill and a mindset.
Yeah, you got to.
You know what I mean? So my final question for you, and I know you say you watching my video. Shout out him for watching my video.
Man, come on.
What's your motive?
What's my motive? Ooh, that's tough, bro.
We already know you're self-motivated, but what's your motive?
You may have to edit this,
No, you all good. Take your time.
but to say this as correctly as I can,
Mm-hmm.
is to move the thought process and the thinking of our people
Mm-hmm.
to be more intentional and understand, for one, how far we can. I know I'm young, but like we know 60, 70 years ago, like this stuff was just unheard of. So just to show you, like, somebody from where we came from that understand everything you did, and what you doing, didn't already did. Let's make more of that. Let's flood it. Let's flood it. I know it's entrepreneurs and stuff like that, but let's flood this way. Let's flood this way to more intellectual, so then we don't have to look, on the internet and see, our politicians just bringing musicians to appease to us. That's disrespectful to me.
For sure.
Because I never wanted to be a musician. But that's how that's the trick bag they wave.
For sure.
So why we don't have another Malcolm, Mark, where to go? Because they out there,
Right.
but we not showing them. We ain't giving them no love. So now you got to choose between
This and that.
when just being smart. It's cool to be smart, bro. That's my motive. It's cool to be. I can be a nerd, bro. I can be a nerd sometimes.
No, for
And
sure.
it's cool, bro. It's cool. It's cool to be, a square.
Absolutely.
It's cool to do all that. So
It's cool to be considered
I hate
lame.
that they put us in a certain box to where where I grew up at. My cousin them.
Yeah.
Everybody ain't no shoot 'em up, bang, bang, sir this, sir that.
For
it's
sure.
regular people in these communities.
Absolutely.
And they outnumber those.
Absolutely.
But when they see it, they just attach it to that. And it's like, so unless we do it and make it cool and make the youngest grow up and want to do this, not just trying to be the only one, I'm the youngest, I'm the only one.
Right.
It's lame.
Right.
Let's get everybody on this way, whatever they want to do. I don't want to hear no more, try this, go get a trade. Some people should. But let's push some people to be uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
You got to master. That's my biggest skill. Mastering the art of being uncomfortable. I'm cool when I'm uncomfortable. When I'm comfortable, y'all gonna know.
No, that's real, especially in terms of, like you said, especially channeling that energy to our young people, man. The earlier the better, right? The earlier the better. Us being intentional and making it be like, no, this is actually cool. Guiding them. Like you said, it's some kids out here that don't even feel supported. They don't feel encouraged. Or being smart is still looked down and frowned upon. Get laughed at and stuff like that.
Because you smart.
Because you smart. And like you said,
Cool, bro.
I mean, as you stated, though, you don't make excuses either for, you know, anything that you went through in terms of, you know, any obstacle you had to overcome or hurdle you had to jump over. Because at the end of the day, like, hey, if you don't see it, I already see it. I already believe in myself. And I don't think a lot of kids actually have that type of mindset or be around individuals like yourself to be able to feel and believe that.
They too preachy.
Unfortunate. Yeah.
You know how it is.
Long-winded individuals.
They too preachy, and they too much talking down on you when we all done did it.
All done did some of the same stuff they done did.
You know, you can edit this out. But if you walk up to some young guys and just a simple, where the hoes at?
Yeah.
They gonna all start laughing. Now you can, just generic phrase, degrading it is to, you know, it could, I apologize, but
no,
just that with a bunch of little guys, now they ears perked up.
Right.
But you so
Is that
you so politically correct with everything is that you gonna lose, cause we like I said, we growing up learning a whole different way of life.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not even reaching me. I don't even want to talk to you, bro.
And
we like the cool teachers, the cool coaches, you know.
Yes, the relatable ones.
The relatable ones. They like the John Morant, Anthony Edwards.
Right, because when you talking from up here and you talking down, I can't see or understand that. Yeah, you got to come down to me for a minute and then bring me up to you, right?
And that's how my mentor is. That's how I'm learning.
Right.
You know.
Respect
I had
that.
many thoughts of how I would act as an attorney.
Gotcha.
And how I was going to trailblaze.
Right.
And, you know, do my Allen Iverson to the league. But, you know, you need those people to come. Like, I understand your approach.
Right.
But you always got to see how it's going to be digested, too.
Gotcha.
You can't just trailblaze like that and just think everybody, you know, is going to be a warm welcome.
Right, gonna rock with that and
And you
accept
still
that.
got to know his rules.
Yeah.
His rules, you can't come in here carrying, bro.
Yeah.
It look good,
For sure.
but recognize who paying you to. Come
You always gotta recognize that. So before we exit out of here, if anybody want to reach out to you or anything, like, how can they contact you? Or should I just be like, reach out to me?
You could, and you kill me with that one. I ain't know that one.
Just reach out to me, and I'll.
You could probably just tag. You could tag the Instagram.
Okay.
If anybody see this, I want nobody to attach me to any, you know, public defender ideas.
Gotcha.
Any private firm that you may see I'm associated with ideas.
Uh-huh.
And it's just solely just a little glimpse of me.
Absolutely.
I'm not going, you know, I didn't go as deep as detailed as I could.
Right.
But yeah, just
Who you are as a person.
Yeah, because I don't want to be nobody to feel as if
Misrepresenting.
exactly
Exactly. Respect.
Image and,
Respect.
and that's big.
Right. But
Blame him.
Blame me.
I don't do this.
Blame me. Hey.
I don't do this at all.
And, bless the pod.
The only one I'm doing.
I'm happy that he came on. I appreciate him for coming on. You know, always had an admiration for him, for the simple fact of how he think, how he move, how he speak. Again, like I mentioned to him multiple times on the pod, he always been confident and sure of himself. I think we didn't got into some debates when we was younger about different beliefs on different stuff, but it's all love. I'm proud of his success, proud of his demeanor, how he carry himself, how he take care of his family, the grind, but he does it gracefully. He does it humbly. That's one of the greatest things that I appreciate about him. So thank you for coming on the pod, man. Really appreciate you.
Man, appreciate you, cuz.
Love, cuz.
Love.
And until next time, what's your motive?